Hello everybody. Welcome to my playthrough of Planetbase. I'm Jack. And we are continuing our playthrough of the gas planet. Just as a reminder, we have 4 planets: red, ice, gas, storm. We are on probably our final episode of the gas planet, and we'll be moving on to the storm planet, which is extremely challenging. So anyway, let's continue on. There's not a whole lot left for me to do other than to take in visitors. Oops, did I click too early? I did. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I'm buying all this stuff and I really don't need anything. Got quite a bit of coin. Just kind of playing with the numbers here. Yeah. That's not so bad. I mean, I could really turn off trading. I really don't. Well, I do like to buy spares and semiconductors, so maybe I'll... Whoops. It's my bad habit of moving. I'm going to get over here. And really, all I need to do is just sit here, really, and just watch the numbers. I'm a little low on meat, so okay. So let's see if we can do something about that. Okay, that one's full. And another one around here someplace. It's funny, you'd think I could easily find it. I know there was another one. I only see one. I know there's another one. It's probably right in front of my face. I thought they were close by here. Yeah, right here. Okay, so I am maxed out on the meat. Well, I know I've got room over here to come out this way. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put one right there. Okay. We'll look at the numbers now. It's like I can never quite reach balance between food and biologist. Just seems like I'm not doing a very good job there. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to come over here and add a little more there. And can 83 biologists handle that? That'd be the question. I've got 249. "47 carrier bots. At 45. Okay. I just lost constructor bots. That means they're going to build more there. Okay, I'm just about out of water. So let's go put some water in. And we'll put a couple in. And how's my power doing? Seems to be doing well. Okay, are we done over here? Yeah, we are. Now I've added quite a bit here already with the food, so I'm wondering if my biologist can keep up. That's going to be the big question. I can add more beds. I hate when I do that. Okay. That should see full, not full, not full. But I just want to make sure I get plenty of beds. That one's full. That one's full. So it looks like I do have a surplus of beds, but you know, it's really funny with this game. It doesn't matter the extra you have. 60%. That's fine. Do one coin so I can just go here, trade that, right? Because there's a lot of examples of that. It's kind of a ratio. Solar flare hitting soon. Okay. I'm going to call him in early. Now, last time I did the alarm where I went by the early warning, it never came in. And this is processing. I meant to put these in. See nothing. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's all about capacity. It's a ratio. So even, I found this out early on playing this game, that when you get to about around 30 to 40 people and you just got your single canteen and you only have one water, people will start getting thirsty. And you're like, well, water's available, why don't you get it? Well, only so many will drink from a certain fountain, so you got to put an extra one in. And so you got to build more than you think you need, even though it doesn't seem to be utilized. At least that's my opinion. See no flare. So I'm going to turn that off. Because it just, I don't know if that cancels the flare when you do the early warning like that. Let's see if I get people out here building on this. Well, as long as it's bots doesn't matter. And I got another ship coming in. Yeah, I'm getting favorable terms now, when I really don't need anything. That's close enough. I usually like to get really close and let's see. They're struggling here. Not so much over here. Now, is this a temporary thing? I'll watch it for a minute. Okay, I've been curious about this. Looks like I've got plenty of capacity. I just wanted to see how far I'm getting. There it is. So it started on to what, 13th one? 14th. So it leaves me 10 extra. Yeah, I think I'm fine there. Let's go back and look at my farm. Okay, they seem to have got that under control. And these ones holding up. Okay, I think I shouldn't panic. When I see triangles, I think they'll eventually get to it. My food. How's my food? Boy, look at that all over the place. It dropped. That dropped. The mills seem to be going up, and that's really the main thing. They have dropped considerably, though. Well, put a couple mushrooms in. The plastic really isn't doing that well either. It's okay. I mean, I'm at the end. Oh, I never did finish these. Might as well finish these, then I'll probably call it. Whoops. Meant to hold the key down to do multiples. And yes, I heard the plane. Is it this one? Yeah. Good enough. Yeah, I'm going to call this game complete. I think we've pretty much stabilized. We're fully recharging all of our power collectors. I don't see a lot of rampant tiredness or hunger. I see a few here and there. Couple of thirsty people. There's an unhappy. But, you know, overall it looks pretty stable to me. Put 2 more in. Two colonists have died. From what? Oh, we got hit someplace. Right here. And I have no idea what I lost. I lost a guard. No, I didn't. Or did I? Yeah, it was at 25. I know I was at 83. May have been a medic. Regardless, we're done. I'm going to finish building this out. I seen it flash there for a minute. It gets stuck sometimes. Put an airlock out here just because I can. Don't need it. Too soon. Yeah, I don't see anything else I really need. That's only worth 10. Let's just do it that way. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm done. I am done. And I could wait for those few things to build. Now, obviously, I could turn on visitors and just do visitors and play that for a while. So why don't I do that? Why don't I just finish out the last few minutes here with just visitors? You know, we might get some bad guys come in and get in a couple of fights, and let's just play with the visitor. I mean, I got it all set up for the visitors, so let's just hang out for a bit, for a few more minutes, and just see what it's like to bring in the visitors. Let's see. My prestige is fairly good. And here comes the first ones. If you don't see a triangle or a icon above their head, they're bad guys. So we're just going to take it up to full speed, and then we're just going to sit here and really watch. Back up just a bit. Now these visitors do pay, but it varies how much they pay. They usually don't pay too much. 10 coins, 15 coins, or something like that. See, I wish I could build more landing pads. Now I could, if I wanted to rip some stuff out and reorganize a little bit, I could come over here. Well, I could rip all some of that out there and redo it, but I really don't feel like doing that. I was watching another YouTuber playing this game, and he was going for the mega base, and he probably had about 30 landing pads. was thinking, wow. Keeping track of that. I mean, once you've got your colony stabilized, probably wouldn't be too much of a problem to handle 30 landing pads. But I wish I'd like to go to like 10. The one thing about this game that I lack the ability is the predictability of your layout. When you're first starting your colony, it's hard to imagine what you're going to look like towards the end of the game, and trying to come up with that perfect layout, it kind of takes away from the fun, I think. It's more about just, I play it kind of, build it as I need it. But I'm sure if you took the time to really get into it and think, well, you know, let's congregate this here and organize in such a way that you maximize kind of that min-max stuff, it'd be kind of cool. It'd be a beautiful colony. And you know, there's lots of different ways to play any game, obviously. And I've seen people that they just lay it out willy-nilly and there's no rhyme or reason. And you think, well, you could do that a little better. But really it doesn't matter in the end. As long as your colony's thriving and surviving, that's the only goal. Because see, you could organize this to where I had room to put in my 10 landing pads. And you know, organize like where you have one farm that doesn't just, oh, geez. I didn't see him. So I've killed 5 out of 7, 5 out of 8. And a lot of them came in that time. 5 out of 9, 6 out of 9. I didn't even see it. 10. And I killed one of my people. Now they're all gone. So who died? No idea. No and no, I lost one earlier here. See these numbers here? That means that those people, colonists, came to help and they grabbed a gun. That's why you build these. Why I build the gun cabinets. I always put one in. At least I try to. But I was late to call the alert, and without calling the alert, I don't think the colonists will come and help. If you didn't set an alert, I'm not really sure how the guards react. I don't know if they're gonna, I'm sure they're gonna fire, but it'd be something to experiment with maybe. But you have to set the red alert in order for your colonists to come grab guns out of the cabinets. This one's got 10, that one's got 8, and this one's got 2 or 3, looks like, because I have 21 extra guns. Each cabinet can hold 10, so I guess really I should have 30 guns so that it balances out. Yeah. But other than trying to figure out how to lay it out a little better, or kind of think of more long-term strategies rather than just kind of play it as it comes. I still like playing it as it comes. I'm doing the best I can to lay it out as the needs arise. Like, one thing I've noticed that I like to do is if you come over here and I kind of like to organize. This is a pretty good example. You got your farm here, and then I got processing for the plastic. But you notice I don't have any plastic here, so no one's doing anything. So that was dumb on my part. What I find is that location really matters. Like, see now how this here is close to two farms that has starch and the mines. So these guys are working and staying busy. If you get your processing too far away, say this processing was over here, right here, even though you have the materials, they probably won't come over. They probably won't deliver them. So this I put in because I normally do that, because I normally would have starch. But I started specializing where this is just food only, and over here I'm starch only, and that works. See, they're busy. Yeah, it's just visitors. So this works. This combination works. But over here, this does not. That's completely worthless because they won't bring. They'll take it to the nearest one. And right here's the nearest one. They've only got 2 jumps to get there. So all my starch is going to go there. They will not bring it over to here. And I don't know how many steps away they ignore. If it's just on what's closest, or what's this guy doing? He's a visitor, right? Going in to get an alcoholic drink. And he came all the way over here to get it. Now, if you were to organize for visitors, see, my problem with this whole game is that I did not check the perimeter. And see, I have a wall here. That's my wall. I can't go any further, so I can't build out here. To really do this right, you'd want to check your perimeter so that when you build your colony for visitors, you got room to expand. Like out here, let's see how far I can go. There's the wall there. So that's quite a bit of room. Now see, if my colony was expanding out here, what I would build is I'd build facilities for visitors. I'd have all of this and a medical center. When I mean all of this, the rec, the bar, the food, the dormitory, and the sick bay. I'd have that all in near the landing pads over here. And that's how you should entertain visitors, so they don't have anywhere to go but right here. But I didn't lay it out like that because I didn't take into consideration the wall. So if I could have moved out here, I could have spread all this out and done a much better job. So now it's not like it doesn't work. It still works. It still works. It just, I think it would be kind of cool if you could kind of set up a visitor center where all your all your amenities were right here. So they were all right in here. But the one catch with that is you've got the bad guys coming in, so you got to build your security centers, control centers, which can house your security guards to protect your colony. Now, I've seen in past playthroughs where it was really strange. Is the bad guys came in and they walked right past the guards, and I had a dormitory, say about right here. They walked right past the guards, came over here, and then started shooting all the people sleeping. And what I found is that the security guards do not react to bad guys until they start shooting their guns. Now I can sound the alarm, and people will start running towards the control centers and to the gun cabinets and getting guns. But they won't shoot at a bad guy until he shoots. So he was able to make it past the guards into the dormitory and started killing people. And then they reacted, and then they all came running over and they got into the fight. But I lost like 6 people like that. So it's kind of an unusual quirk where, I guess in real life, I guess the developer was thinking, how would you know it was a bad guy as compared to just a visitor? I guess you're not going to know until they start firing. But you know when they come in as opposed to a visitor, because all visitors have an icon above their head, and all bad guys do not. So that's the different way you can differentiate between the two. So we can tell, but your security guards can't. So for that purpose, I usually don't like to build any dormitories very close to my landing area for the visitors to come in. See, I got one right here, so I'm lying to you. See, now, looking back, that was a mistake. But again, I usually I put in things as I need them. And the reason I put that in here is because I always like to put dormitories off of an air. Because if you get one too far away, sometimes they'll turn red from low oxygen. And the same thing with food. I like to put my food off on an air, and I like to put any place people congregate heavily. In essence, I like to have an air close to wherever people congregate. Air for the food. See, I got air for these. I got air for this dormitory. I got air for this farm. I do not have air for these farms. This one, I got one here. Farms aren't quite as critical because I've never seen these turn red, and I do have quite a surplus of oxygen, but that doesn't really matter. If you've been watching earlier, you would have seen that when I built this over here, when I built these 3 right here, they're all red. Even though I have, whoops, I keep doing that. even though I had a surplus of air, it just wasn't enough to get over here. So that's why I had to build this air, because these were low on oxygen. So there's a lot of little quirks like that. Bad guys, guards don't react until they shoot. You build like this here. They'll never use it because there's no starts nearby. Just because you've got plenty of air doesn't mean that your buildings are going to get enough oxygen. That was improvement when we did that here. I think it was the same over here, if I remember right. I had to build the air here because these were turning red. So, just little tidbits. And I always like to build more capacity than I need. Like, see, these are half empty, half empty, half empty, half empty. I like to overbuild and see my food is just kind of flatlining, which is good. We don't need a big surplus. We just want to maintain status quo. See meat flattened out. And veggies are up and down, but they're semi-flat. Okay, I haven't really been paying attention at all over here for bad guys. I should be keeping an eye on that. Yeah. But I haven't been paying attention to my coin number. I'm sure it's been going up a little bit as these visitors come in and leave. They do pay a little bit. And usually there'll be a little blurb, it'll pop up and say visitors paid 5 coin or 15 coin. I miss those. A lot of this, see right here, visitors paid 25 coins for service. Just as they're leaving, they pay. I usually miss those. But that's it. That is it. I'm going to move on to the storm planet. It's going to be a super challenge. I haven't played it in a long time, but it's funny. Like I mentioned in another episode where there was a time that's all I played. It was just the storm planet. I played it dozens and dozens of times. And that's the one I really like to play. But when I started my walkthrough series here, I decided to start from the beginning, go from the red, then to the ice, then to the gas, and now we're going to go to the storm. And the storm, the first I can't really make an accurate guess, but the first several episodes are going to be slow going. Very slow. The challenges that make Storm Planet so difficult is that you would never find this much open room like this. What you get is little pockets and little slivers of land, little pockets. And the mountains are a little more jagged, and there's lots of methane lakes. And you have to build all around that. And then you have cloud cover that mainly stays. You get brief periods of sun. So your solar panels are not very effective, which in turn means you've got to build way over capacity on your solar panels and your windmills and your power collectors. And in the beginning, when you don't have a lot of resources, it's very difficult to maintain your colony, because what will happen is in the beginning you have 1 solar panel, 1 windmill, and 1 power collector. And your lifeblood is this power collector. And so you've really got to pay really close attention, and you might have to turn your mines and your landing pads and anything else that you can off in order to conserve energy. And so I've seen where you can go 4 or 5 days with hardly any power, where you've just got to keep turning things off, and you can't mine because you don't have the power. Without the mines, you can't generate the materials in order to build. All your infrastructure, all your power is based upon the mines. And if you don't have the power to keep your mines on, you can't improve your infrastructure. So you've got brief interludes of decent weather where you can get the sun. And yes, you do have the wind, but the wind comes and goes. So you'll have some wind for some time, and then it goes away, and it's more of an auxiliary. I guess if you had enough wind, I've tried it several ways. I've tried playing it with going like 3 wind every solar, and that'll work. And then I've tried it where you go 50-50, and I've tried it where you do more solar than wind. They'll all work. Oh, bad guys. Now see, everybody's running, should be running to get guns. Or are they? Some of them are. Here they come. They're getting a gun. No, he's going to go over here to get a gun. These guys are going over here to get guns. See, no one's shooting these guys. So far I got 6. Now I'm up to 8 intruders. Seven were killed. Is there one more someplace? I thought they said there was 8. Okay. Apparently it's over. The music's gone. I swear I seen 8. And only 7 showed up as dead. So I got 8 visitors. But that doesn't mean anything because I've got 3 ships. Anyway, back to the storm planet. Then, so you've really got to manage your power. Then you've got lightning storms, and you got to put out lightning rods to protect. And in the same way that you use these guys, now this has a very large radius. The lightning rods will only cover a small area. There's 2 sizes. And one's kind of about like this big, and one maybe like this big. And so you got to put up a lot of lightning rods. And the lightning rods will protect your buildings. You don't get accidental lightning strikes if they're protected, like here. This requires a laser. It requires observatory, I call them. It's a telescope, but I call them observatories. And it requires these guys. And they have to be manned. So you've got 4 components: the laser, the observatory, the console, and the people. And they all have to be present in order for these to work. The lightning rod is not like that. Smaller radius of protection, but it will absolutely protect you. And the lightning strikes are continuous. Well, I say that, but they're a lot. They're a lot. And so that's the challenge. It's protecting against lightning, finding... You're not going to get any organizational skills much on a storm planet because of the small pockets of area and the little slivers of land and between lakes and hills. And yeah, you really can't do a very good job of laying things out organized like I've done here, semi-organized. I got all my water together, all my solar together. I put all this together. You know, I put all these together. It's possible you could do something similar, but it's just much more difficult. Anyway, that's a preamble to what to expect in the next one. And we'll save this. And that will be it. So I just spent 20 minutes rambling on and not really playing much of the game, but we're finished. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I enjoyed this series. The red planet, I'm just going to recap real quick. The red planet was... Okay, got to back up again. After you've played the storm planet many times, and then you go back to the red planet, the red planet, comparatively speaking, is relatively easy. It's more of a... The red planet is a good instructional series. The meteors can give some problems. And if you get hit early in the game, which I have before, your game's over. And if it kills some essential workers. Because it's all about status right here. If they're... if the death of your people causes your status to go low, you can't get more people, so you're done. And I've had that happen. So the red planet does present some challenges. So it's still a good game, a good planet to play on. But overall, it is the easier one to play, other than the meteors. Now, the ice planet, in some ways, it's easier than the red planet. Because the ice planet has no asteroids, or no meteors. So you don't have any meteors, you don't have anything really bad, other than blizzards. But the blizzards are mostly not deadly. They may cause some people to get sick, need to go to the sick bay. But it's rare to lose somebody, at least in my experience, it's rare to lose somebody. You get half power on the solar, so that's really the only detriment. So you just got to build double the solar. So it takes a little bit longer, but once you get your solar capacity up, it's really not much of a challenge that way. So in some ways, the ice planet is easier than the red planet. because you don't have to worry about the meteors. Now this one, the gas planet, it presents the meteors again. And if I remember right, the red planet says the meteors are low, and this one says that the meteors are high. Okay, let's just go there and look. Yeah, low risk. That's not true, in my opinion. They may not come in as frequently, but they're just as deadly, in my opinion. So we have no meteors of any kind on the ice planet. These blizzards really aren't that deadly, and you can overcome the solar panels by building more. So in some ways that's easier. Here it says risks high. Yes, you get more meteors. Well, that music just jumped. Turn that down. And the solar flares can be deadly. So these present way more of a challenge to me. And on the storm planet, okay, I had forgotten about this. What this means, the turbines operate at reduced capacity, is in the same way the solar panels here operate at reduced capacity. They operate at 50%, the solar panels here. So I'm assuming the wind is going to be something similar at half capacity. So that's even more. So now you really got to crank these out. And the solar panels are disrupted by cloud cover. So yeah, this is quite a challenge. All right. Well, anyway, thank you for joining me. Hope you'll join me in the next episode, or the next series, I should say, because we're done with this one. Do the storm planet. Please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. I'd like to make it to the generic search page. If you've watched my previous videos, you know what that means. So until next time, be good, stay safe, and we'll talk at you later. Bye.